my dream when I was a little kid was to meet David Beckham. But I never imagined that in the middle of a failure moment in the Philippines, that dream was gonna be true. But the main character is not Beckham, it's Rommel, the guy from the video. For the first time in his life, he had an iPhone, and through that iPhone, he not only took a selfie and did part of the video, but because he's deaf, he could show the world through this video that Beckham has visited them. And that's how, let's say, I met Beckham. So that failure moment, what really want to tell us is that there's always a David Beckham behind every failure opportunity. There's always a hidden opportunity behind every failure. And if we carry with that failure, flow won't be able to nourish and flourish as we want, because we will only be focusing in the failure and not in the lessons behind that failure. So maybe your David Beckham or your failure is not going to be as handsome as David Beckham, but there's always something positive about it. And then we head to the encounter moment, and it's a special moment because we have different encounters in our life. Some of them are the visible encounters, the ones we're having here, people that impact our life in a positive way, hopefully. Invisible moments that are people that, maybe the people that put these chairs here, that were driving the ferry or the bus, or the cook that cook our food. Those people, we don't know if they're doing their flow or no, but they are facilitating our flow. It's people that maybe we don't have the chance to meet. And there are re-encounters, and especially for travelers, like I think most of us are. These re-encounters are like the soul of our encounters. It requires these muscles of goodbye, which is really, really hard to exercise. But that's what makes the encounter moment so beautiful. Well, in this case, I wanted to meet John Lee Anderson. He's the writer of the New Yorker, and he has traveled around the world writing about wars. And when I was reading his books, I always wanted to write like him and travel telling stories like he did. So I had the chance to interview him, and in one of the interviews, he said, I might need to interrupt our interview because I'm going in 2 days to Mali, and it's an important mission. So yes, when we started, the ambassador of France interrupted the interview, and he said, hey, I'm sorry, but you are on your own. It's under alert. We can't protect you. So you are on your own. You decide if you want to pursue the mission or not. And at that point, he said, I have to go. If I don't go, the world won't know what's going on. More innocent people will die, and I have to go. He left, and I realized at that moment that his flow was risking his life, because his flow was also writing and telling stories. I was in shock, and the only thing that I could tell him was, can I go with you to Mali? And he said, in any other situation, my answer would be no, for sure. But this time I'll tell you, let me think about it. Of course, it ended up being impossible for me to travel with him to Mali. But what I realized there is that there's actually nothing impossible. I always wanted to meet him, and I was sitting with him, not only having an interview, but probably having a deeper connection. So we are 6 degrees far from every person that we would like to meet. It's a theory, but actually today with social media, we're just one tweet away of anybody that we would like to meet. So think about this encounter moment and see, who would you like to meet? Who have you met already that have transformed your life? And how have this facilitates your flow as well? And then we continue with the next moment, which is the Eureka moment. And the Eureka moment is also fed with something that some people call serendipity or synchronicities. Today when I arrived, I found one. In the wall it says Atlas Flow. And today we're talking about flow, so I found that very beautiful. But the Eureka moment is like a confirmation in our path. It's similar to the wake-up moment, but it's if we are on the alert, we will know when the Eureka moments happen. In this case, I forgot to tell you, but I faced a huge crisis after dropping out of university. 8 months of asking really what was going on. I was breaking a paradigm. It was I didn't wake up to go to class, my knowledge was not measured by exams, everything was changing, but emotionally I also wanted to discover life. I was growing up, basically, like we all do, but in a more existential way. So in that moment, I wanted to travel, as I told you, but we were in a bar exchanging with a friend, and he never reads. He ended up reading a short little kid's book, and he said, "Wow, your passion is literature." And I told him, "No, I mean, I like reading, but that's not my passion. My passion is really to travel." And he said, "Okay, you should check your big year." A Colombian was second in the competition, and basically it's a competition in which 60,000 people would like to travel around the world as an award, and you have to overcome a lot of challenges. And I made it into the top 120, then top 30, and then they asked us to ask leaders of the world that we admire which one has been their big year. So, because I was a journalist, I knew how to go behind the scenes, backstage, and I interviewed Guy Kawasaki. You know Guy Kawasaki, the motorcycle guy? Kawasaki? No, he's not the guy. I thought it was that guy, but he's actually a guru in entrepreneurship, innovation, startups, bestseller. So I said, I think it's a good, you will give me good points. And I asked him, Guy Kawasaki, which one is your big year? And let's see his answer. Yeah, my flow sometimes it's not technology. You can see.